2K London Major 2018 player profile. Let's go.
Esports isn't a joke anymore. There's thousands of people watching. I knew that I need to put everything into it. I stopped hanging out with my friends, and I just stayed on the computer day and night.
That's the people. This guy plays that. This guy plays that.
When I fell in love with the game, I played more and more. It would go from 3 or 4 hours to 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Break them now, we win the game. Let's go.
I want to progress fast as possible.
Still looking hella tough right here. He looks like that, this one Asian actor, I forgot this name, god damn it. San Francisco. Quick note, San Francisco, one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Just so you know.
Jake and I grew up in San Francisco, and our childhood was pretty ordinary. My parents were always overseas. They have a business over in Asia, so they spent a lot of time
I never knew
in
Stewie
China.
had a brother.
That definitely made the two of us more independent, and when we did things together, we kind of try to outdo each other. Yeah. I grew up playing Counter-Strike 1.6, and my brother always being around me, he eventually picked that up from me.
I was trying to...
Yo, his brother... Listen, dog, like, who do you guys think is a better looking brother? Stewie or this Jason Brad Pitt? Yep.
They're in the same server as him, but every time I kill him or kill my cousin, they would get mad and they would try to vote kick me in the server. And I would always feel pretty sad. My brother doesn't want to play with me. He doesn't want to hang out with me. I was just trying to make them happy and felt like we were hanging out together at the time, but I guess they took it another way. My brother was always the really good kid. He was the one who sets the bar high for my sister and I. He's a great student. He would have 4.0 GPA, and he knows that video games...
What is this, the brother? Like this guy, I'm falling in love with the brother here, dude.
For me, I don't...
No, I don't think the brother's taller, dude. Stewie's hella tall.
I think that way. I think when I like to do something, I put that first. So my mom had a lot of leeway for my brother, but for me, growing up, it was a lot harder.
Stewie was the baby, that's why. It's like Stewie's like
my parents
late.
were the stereotypical Asian parents who
Except
wanted
with
me to
better
grow
genetics.
up to be a really successful lawyer, doctor, dentist, something that's common. But for me, I saw something different. I started watching Cloud9, and I saw how they would travel the world, they can get salary, and that's what kind of sparked myself for pursuing the dream of becoming a professional player. I dropped everything in school, and I stopped hanging out with my friends, and I just stayed on the computer.
Jawline, dude. Look at that jawline, dude.
It was kind of hard for me to explain to my parents because they despise playing video games. There are times where we don't even speak to each other during the day and we live in the same house, and that's how much we kind of hated each other at one point. My parents actually kind of gave up on me. I was listening in on a phone call one day, and I could hear her saying how I'm gonna be a failure in life, saying how I'm gonna be homeless.
Dude, this is literally, this is sad, but this happens like a lot, dude. Parents, especially old school parents, will never, there's no point in trying to change them, really. You just gotta go with the flow and hope in time they make a realization. But old school parents are always gonna put like success at a bar of like school, job, security, all this stuff. Like when you try to say you want to play a video game as a profession, like, oh my god, I went through this shit with my parents back in the day. I feel like all parents are the same. All the parents of if you're like over 23 or 21 and up, you know your parents are like super old school. They're not really supportive of anything you decide to do that is outside school and like a fucking one of those, you know, well-known jobs.
Begging for money, how the school's contacting me saying you're gonna have to leave, how I'm not getting an education like my brother who's so successful. I thought my mom kind of failed at being a mom, and I just said I might as well just leave then. I don't want to be here. And at the time I was 17, and I just flew to LA.
Wait, he ran away from home?
At the end of one of the seasons, Cloud9 was announcing that Sean Garrett was leaving, and I knew that this was a chance where I could possibly get on the team. I was just waiting for my opportunity.
Sean Garrett had came to the conclusion that's like, hey, you know what? I want to take a step back. And even one of the first names out of his mouth was Stewie 2K.
The idea was that we bring in fresh blood, a new hunger to the team, and not some of this old guard that had been recycled over and over and over again. Wanted to bring someone with a new perspective on the game, and perhaps someone that could reignite where we left off.
A week later, Stunna gave me a call, and he talked about how the contract's ready for me. At the time, I was only 17, and my parents would never sign the contract for sure. So I told him that my birthday's in a few weeks. If you can wait for it, I'm gonna sign it right away, and I'm gonna move into the gaming house whenever you need me to.
We were all 17 at some point and said, you know, our parents might not back us up on this, but my gut feeling is that this is right, and I want to go for it.
He knows what it is to kind of be this middle child and be different, wants to have his own.
It's Ducky D, 100%, and I want to make this very clear as well, because if for those of you who don't know, Ducky said there's a difference though, Mo. If you have talent, then you can do what Stewie did. You can just pull randomly out of your ass, I'm giving up everything and to become a pro. That's 100% true. A lot of people are doing this, let me throw everything else away because I believe I'm gonna be a pro. That's not enough. Your belief in yourself is not enough. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you guys. It's gonna be very tough to become a pro gamer in any game, right? So I'll never recommend that you drop everything to do it. Now, when I played Counter-Strike at a professional level back in the day, I had a history. I was already on like a top player on a top team in all of the U.S. Like we were winning tournaments. I already knew early on. I was like, okay, I have a talent in this game, and I want to pursue this. But back then, dude, there was no salaries. Like when CGS came along, that's the very first time it was like, wow, this is huge. Like I'm actually a pro gamer with a salary. Then I even wanted it more. That's when my parents, after my first event ever where I brought home a $10,000 check, they were like, dude, like what the hell? Like my dad's worked his whole life, dude. $10,000 in a weekend is like unheard of for him, right? When he saw that, he was like, wow, that's insane. Like I can't believe this happened. Like I've never thought this something like this. He's been playing on the computer hours and hours and hours and weeks and wasting his life away, and then now look, all his hard work, he was able to bring in some sort of money. Like and unfortunately, that's what sucks, because if you don't show that you're making something of monetary value off your gaming, your parents are always gonna think you're a loser. But like I said, you'll know if you have the talents to become a pro. If you really think, if you're just a mediocre player who just loves the game so much and wishes to be pro, don't give up everything, dude. And I told this to other people too. I see a lot of people saying like, I'm gonna give it all my all. I'm quitting school. I'm doing this. Listen, you can manage to do school and pro gaming to a certain extent, and then when your pro gaming career takes off, that's when you could take a break from school, take a break from everything else, and follow that train and see where it takes you. But until it takes off, you gotta do both, and you gotta keep doing good at school, because you need school, unfortunately, you need to get a good education in order to make some sort of respectable wage for your life. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. It's like a lot, like fucking Kerrigan fucking graduated with a master's. Like I'm not good enough to do that shit. So as soon as I saw gaming take off for me, I quit school for a while. I came back to school after Source died, and then I quit, dropped out again when streaming took off, right? So it's just like I keep doing these things. No, 100%, but that's the sacrifice you have to make. Practice after school. Giving up your social life is worth it if you're gonna fucking get your dream of being a pro gamer. It's worth it, because you'll be able to have a social life later on, but you'll like the becoming a pro gamer is something that like you just got to take advantage of it as soon as it comes.
Own path, anyway, rather than the one that's been set by the older siblings. And there was so much criticism. There were so many people.
Also, one thing with my situation that was different than this, I was the older sibling, so my parents put a lot of pressure on me to not show my family that, hey, I'm dropping out of school, I'm gonna go do this, and pretty much showing the rest of the family that, hey, it's okay to not follow in what your parents want. So that's why I had a lot of pressure on me to kind of do what my parents wanted, and that hurt them even more. You know what I mean?
People that didn't believe in it, they were visibly upset. There was pushback from the community. I mean, you've got to think, a rookie on the team, a pure rookie, coming into an organization that is probably hailed as the New York Yankees of esports. Not only was it community pushback, within the team you could tell some of the vets didn't really give him the credit right off the bat.
I mean, there's reaction videos of that old guard saying, hey, he's trash, this is the worst pickup of all time, this is never gonna amount to anything, what the hell is C9 doing? Like, who the hell is Stewie 2K, right?
I miss C9, dude. I miss C9, Stewie, and Tarek, and all of that, man.
How fitting it is Stewie to save them, the only man that could. Cloud9 are your Ely Major champions.
What the hell? This is so fake. Look at this, though. Look at his eyes. Look at this. He's about to cry. Look at this. This is so fake. No one's that interested in anything, ever. This is this is supposed to be like a touching moment. I ruined it. I'm sorry. I ruined the touching moment.
After the major, I guess some people felt like they've accomplished and done what they wanted to do in their Counter-Strike career, and
Can you just talk about Stadoodle here?
not
I'm assuming.
everyone's putting in all the effort that they should be, so I didn't see the future in the team anymore. The whole MIBR move for me happened after WSG. I knew this could be a new opportunity and the very next step in my career where I can get even further.
I think this change help him grow as a person, as a human being, and for sure as a player. It's not just winning. It's stay like for everybody that all he's been through worth it, and now he's on the top. And that's one thing I really like about him. I don't see that many players that actually doesn't really matter if he's doing bad or good. He's always trying his hard.
Everyone struggled with family and CS, and now here he is, successful, but from what I understand, they don't have too good of a relationship, which is sad to see because I'm someone who's really close to my family, and I hope that's something that could change in the future because family is extremely important.
Everybody that's worked in this industry can...
Man, I love Stewie, dude. Stewie, I'm your family, dog. I'm your family for this shit. This is choking me up, dude. I hate to hear when players don't have a good relationship with their family, man.
That
I'll always
same
be your family, brother.
boy or girl
I'm telling you
inside
right now.
themselves that sat in their room for countless hours that really can taste it. They're so close to wanting to be a part of this bigger picture. Stewie is a great example of a kid that was following his heart. He followed his dreams and really never gave up on his aspirations. When he started, he had the backlash from his family, the community backlash as well. He's powered through rosters and teammates that didn't completely believe in him, to maturing as an adult on top of winning a major and then now looking to grab his second title.
He's not a rookie anymore. He's a
What the
champion.
hell's this? I prefer to look like a little bug around here. Bandicoot, you're the very first person to ever say that.
Hello, Mommy?
Hey, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tiến mà. Hay à. Ủa lại vậy ra như phải.
Hay à? Thì ra chỗ mẹ.
Hay à. Nó bị... Người ta thấy cái này thì tại.
I'm gonna cry, dude. Woo! I just hit the feels, man. Just thinks about your own mom, you know, and talking to her, and like, it's good to know. Well, at least he has a good relationship with his mom. They made it sound like he didn't have a relationship at all. Woo! All right, we gotta take a break from this 1 second, guys. Woo!